And sitting right behind the San Francisco 49ers is the Atlanta Falcons. And the Atlanta Falcons, with the season that they had, were very much under the spotlight of saying, okay, the head coach is gone. Matt Ryan is now 38. Hold on, let me double check that really quickly. Matt Ryan age, I believe he's 38. Oh, he's 35. Okay, so he's not even that old. He's not as old as I thought he was, but still my point remaining the same. If there's going to be a new regime in Atlanta, new head coach, new general manager, if you're really content on blowing everything up and starting over, I don't think there's a better opportunity to get a quarterback for the future than there is in this draft class. This QB draft class probably is the best draft class since the 2012 draft class with Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Andrew Luck. It's probably going to be the best draft class of quarterbacks since 2012. And, sure, there's been some hits like Josh Allen. Jared Goff at times has been a pretty good quarterback. There have been some hits. There have been some misses. But essentially, since the 2012 draft class, I don't think there's been a class projected to be better than this draft class. So going into the offseason, everybody's thinking, okay, well, Matt Ryan is 35. He's got a huge expensive contract. You're going to want to get out of that contract eventually. But if you're not ready to move on from Matt Ryan yet, you should probably draft a quarterback, sit him a year, and see what happens. Now, Trey Lance is somebody that has been projected to be a really good quarterback, but consensus is that he needs a year to develop. He needs a year to adjust to the NFL game. He needs to adjust from playing FCS opponents to playing legitimate NFL opponents. So the fact that, the Falcons are so quiet at the number 4 spots has me a little bit suspicious. I could definitely see a world in which Atlanta swipes out from under, the shadows, comes in and snags a quarterback and throws the entire NFL draft off. And personally, I think the idea of Trey Lance in Atlanta would be a pretty interesting combination. Arthur Smith coming from the system in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill. Now, Ryan Tannehill is not the most mobile quarterback, but his legs are a weapon and are consistently used as a weapon in that Tennessee offense. I could definitely see a world in which Arthur Smith implements a similar type of offense, being the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and preparing that offense for Trey Lance a year or two down the road. Now, it's kind of funny because I spent about, 6 to 10 minutes rambling about how I didn't think that Mac Jones was a good fit in San Francisco and how, Trey Lance would be a better fit there. And if you look at the offense schematically, you could say, well, Mac Jones is probably a better fit in Atlanta than Trey Lance is there. Kind of funny how that works, but when it comes to team need as to what they need in a big picture organizational sense, Atlanta probably can use a quarterback in which they can sit for a year and have him develop and have that be a more viable option, a cheaper option, if you will. Now, you can make the argument, well, yeah, all these NFL teams could, sit their first round draft selection QB anyways. Look, Trevor Lawrence is going to start. Wilson's probably going to start. Whoever the San Francisco 49ers draft at number 3 is going to start. But with Matt Ryan's ginormous contract in Atlanta, I think Trey Lance going there, sitting a year, is an extremely exciting option for the NFL. And an extremely exciting option for Atlanta, who probably would want to get out from under that contract sooner rather than later. And let's be truthful, pretty much ever since the 2017 Super Bowl, pretty much ever since that halftime, things have not been going well for Atlanta, and things probably do need a flip over, turn over a new leaf. And that's not directly Matt Ryan's fault. There's plenty more wrong than just Matt Ryan. In fact, Matt Ryan has played, relatively well, all things considered, but if you're really going to blow the farm up, as I've said, there's probably not a better chance to get your franchise quarterback of the future than there is to draft Trey Lance at number 4 if he's there and available. If he's not there and available, I say, well, okay, then maybe there's going to be somebody in a subsequent draft that you can go and select. Maybe Matt Ryan's leash gets a little bit longer. A lot of experts have Kyle Pitts going to the Falcons at number 4, and I think that would be a tremendous draft selection as well. Think about an offense with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts. And, maybe the Falcons go for a quarterback in later rounds, maybe like a Kellen Mond, maybe like a Kyle Trask. There are options there. There are plenty of options there for Atlanta. I just think they're being very suspiciously quiet at number 4. Again, maybe that's not all they're doing, and maybe it's a perfect smokescreen for Atlanta because the media, as I've said on the show already, is like Mac Jones to San Francisco. 49ers have the 3rd overall selection. What are they going to do with that? It's like a ravenous pack of wolves. Some NFL sports news happens, and that's literally that anybody can talk about for the next 3 or 4 days. Everybody's interested in what's going to happen with that number 3 pick, and I'm sitting here saying, look, Atlanta is being very, very quiet at number 4, and do not be surprised if they come in and swoop a quarterback under everybody's noses. And if that quarterback is Trey Lance, I think that's a win-win situation for Atlanta. You get the guy that has tremendous upside but probably needs a year to sit behind somebody in the NFL and adjust. And look, Matt Ryan is no slouch. He's really not no slouch. He's probably the best part of the Falcons teams that have been declining slowly ever since that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots. Look, I like the idea. I think it's interesting. I think that would be exciting for the NFL if he's available. Look out for Trey Lance going to Atlanta at number 4. The Falcons are being very, very suspicious, very, very sneaky. I do think, again, if they decide to go with Kyle Pitts at number 4, that would be a good draft selection as well. They need a tight end in Atlanta, but we shall see. Again, you always got to look out for the quiet ones, folks. Always got to look out for the quiet ones. Atlanta is being very, very quiet. It's making me very, very suspicious. But that's the end of the show today. Again, very short one. Happy Easter, everybody. Go and spend some time with your family if you celebrate that. If you don't celebrate that, have a happy weekend. Enjoy your time with friends and family. I will see you all next week, hopefully with some... Hey, folks, thank you so much for listening to this segment from the Hard-Headed Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed this segment, make sure that you drop a like on the video and a comment. It helps me out a bunch. And if you're interested in watching more segments like this from the show after the show has been completed, you should definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're interested in listening to the entire show in its full-length entirety, you should listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. Once again, thank you so much for watching the video. My name is Nick Ryan, and I will see you all again very soon.